engage, when not to engage, and you're threatened with the wrestling. You can get away with like having a slower striking style. But if you can't do those things, then you're a fucking sitting duck. And that's one of the most terrifying aspects of MMA.
Yeah.
One of the most terrifying aspects of MMA is being stuck in the middle of the cage with a guy like Anderson Silva in his prime, who's just sliding slightly out of the way of your shit and bam, cracking you in the face, and he's dancing around, and he's making the wobbly face like he's rocked to fuck with you, and then he kicks you and punches you. Like, he's done some creepy shit to dudes inside the octagon. I mean creepy in a way that's like not negative. I mean so good. Like he's had these moments in fights where you just go, holy shit, it's creepy. Like you could get stuck in a cage with that dude. He just basically, if this was 1,000 years ago, it would be that he would be the king of the village, right? Like just most likely, well, the king of the village would be the biggest guy, right? See, what we're doing is we're separating people by size. That's true. At the end of the day, like if you meet a guy like Brock Lesnar, you go, oh, well, that's why there's a heavyweight division. Right. Like, that's a totally different kind of human. How many guys like that can actually, and I'm talking about Brock specifically, but that are like 285. Can move like him? Well, no, that can keep a body like that without anything additional. Like, in other words, that's a super good question, and it's not an honest question. The problem is people are real dishonest about what they take and what they don't take. Yeah. It's weird because there's people that will argue with you. They'll say that there's only so big a person can ever get and be so fast without help. Right. But then you got to say, but their understanding of recovery is way better today than ever before. Like their understanding of like when to train, when not to train, when you're overtrained. Like if you're at a real high level place, they're gonna like they're grooming you to be an NFL player or something like that. They're gonna give you some pretty high level instruction and coaching. And if you're eating right, you're gonna have definitely a jump over people that were in your same sort of position 20 years ago, right? Right. So the athletes are going to be better just because of the science of training. Sure. But after that, you got to wonder. I mean, it's not like they don't know about them. No, of course. they all know about steroids. So easy to get. Yeah. It's not like they don't know about them, and it's not like they don't know they help. And these dudes, like some of the guys are definitely fat, right? But some of these guys are like, they're so like you're like, dude, you're walking around like at like a healthy 310. Well, I think some of them, honestly, are probably a bit big on purpose too, like linemen, right? Right. I mean, definitely. You want to feed them. Yeah, you want to be a giant. You want to be a giant monster. Yeah, you don't want to be shredded. No. You want to just want to weigh a lot, smashing into people. Yeah, I think. What the fuck do I know? I know almost nothing about football. You're totally right. People say football players' names, and I have to nod like a person from another country. Like if someone's speaking to me in another language, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you're saying. Yeah. I feel like that about a bunch of sports though too. I'm like, I got you. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. But I wear hats a lot, especially I travel with. I used to like having a hat on a plane. Pull over, and I have like 10 different teams, and guys will bore, and they're like, "Did you see Douglas last night?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "The game." And I realize it's the hat, and I'm like, "I missed it." And he's like, "Fuck, shut him out." I'm like, "Fucking killer, man." You don't even know who that guy is. No, I have no idea what he's talking about. Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. Well, now there's so many UFC fighters. There's like 500 UFC fighters. Occasionally, like, I gotta look people up. Sure. Like someone will mention someone. I'm like, who did he fight? And they'll fight. He fought that guy. I'm like, when? And they're like, it's 4 fight nights ago. I'm like, undercard? When was on undercard? Like, when, really? Yeah, I'll have to like put it in my super big. It's too many fights. You can't keep up. How massive has it gotten? Just in the time that I've known or been to UFC stuff, the fight game has exploded in popularity. It seems like it all took off from this one fight in 2005 between Stephan Bonner and Forrest Griffin. That was like the big one. Because it was the end of the final of this first reality show, The Ultimate Fighter. Oh, right. They had this crazy fight in the finals. And these guys knew each other real well, and they actually liked each other a lot. But they fucking went at it. They just both went at it. It changed the game. Both guys fought Anderson Silva, too. Oh, wow. Later in their career. They both got fucked up. Yeah. It was when Anderson was just a Jedi Knight. Yeah. He was just doing shit to people inside the octagon. You're like, oh, Jesus. How was that that one fight with him? Which one? I think was it the Weidman one? Oh, when he broke his leg? Or when he got knocked out? I think when he got knocked out. I think I was at that. Probably. You've been to a ton of them. I've been to a bunch of them now. Yeah. That one was crazy because he was winning that fight. If I didn't go to that one, I definitely I've seen both of those guys fight at fights. So I can't remember if I saw that fight or not. Weidman was pressing him, but Anderson was kicking him a lot in the legs.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I was like, ooh, like he's kicking his legs a lot.
And he did a lot of like crazy taunting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That.
But you know what? Weidman did something really slick. He did something really slick. It was really interesting. He threw a back fist. He threw a punch, and then he threw a back fist. Because Anderson was going like, he was bobbing and weaving and bobbing and weaving and like moving away from him. So he figures if the right's coming, then the left's coming. So he throws a punch, misses, and then throws a back fist, which makes Anderson have to go that way.
Right.
So then when he starts going that way, the other way, bang, he catches him with a left hook.
Oof.
It's a beautiful combination. It's a beautiful combination with a guy who moves his head a lot because you force him because you're not just throwing one in that direction, you're throwing a second one that so he's going that way.
Yeah.
Which is like when you throw a left hook.
Yeah.
He's going that way. So he's already going the way to avoid the left hook. He's got to come back.
And when he comes
back, boom.
Yeah.
He catches him perfect. It was brilliant.
Yes,
beautiful timing.
It was the setup before the fucking blow, too.
Well, he looked a little slower than Anderson, so he was having a hard time catching him. And Anderson was staying on the outside and kicking his legs a lot. But they had collided in the first round, and he took Anderson down and wrapped one of his legs up and had him pretty tight.
Yeah.
Looked like he might be getting a leg lock or attempting a leg lock, and Anderson got out of it.
Isn't that the fight, too, where after the fight, where Weidman was like, make your decision now. You're either on board or you're not. I think there was...
No, that was another fight.
That was another fight?
That was another fight, yeah. I think that was after Vitor, I think, after he beat up Vitor.
He's like, pick your... Like,
yeah, I was like,
get
whoa.
on board.
I was like, damn, Chris.
You've had up to now to decide. Pretty good.
Yeah, you know, he's an interesting guy. He takes a loss like a fucking champ. I'll tell you that. He lost to Yoel Romero by knockout, and then he was sitting on the dais answering questions later with his eye all stitched up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's a stud.
You know what fight I was
That's
at?
hard to do, man.
Oh, I bet, man.
Get KO'd and then just answer questions with stitches over your eye, and you're talking to press people.
Oh, I've seen some guys real fucked up. At
Perfect composure, though. He handled it perfectly.
I was at that Gustafson